I want to start by saying that you guys did amazing.
I'm sorry for throwing like all the hard work to you, Joe. I was kind of like,
That's what I was here for, is to support you when you felt unable to continue. You did great, though.
it's so hard to do an interrogation when like I know what I want to say in Spanish, but I don't know how to say it in English. It's terrible.
You did great. I think that it was important to let him talk, because if we really drilled on demanding an answer when he was either misdirecting or otherwise, they would have just got up and left. In fact, I think it should be noted that shortly after they had come to realize that, wait, they have the phone records,
Yeah.
and that some of those records contradict his earlier statements, that now they're probably in that vehicle and coming up with alibis.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing too is, now, for better or worse, we can't. I So he claimed, and correct me if I'm wrong here, and keep in mind, I literally had to deal with a faceless thing like in the middle of it, both before and then right afterwards. So I missed a lot of the interrogation. It sounded like he said that he was asked to open the door, which is when they attacked him. Is that accurate?
Yes. He reaffirmed
How
that
did he
multiple
get
times.
chopped in the neck then?
He,
Who opened the door?
so he was in ICU, so he would have turned to the left or right, gone towards it, so they would have been behind him towards where Nana was.
But he said he opened it, right?
Yeah, so he would have unlocked it,
But if someone
then got chopped.
Yeah, if he said he had to open it, so he went to. But were they already in the room?
Yeah, they were already in the
they were
room.
visiting.
So he brought them into ICU, and then they asked to open the door, I guess, to be let out of ICU. That would be your assumption. And then he got chopped in the back.
And he doesn't know if the other patient was in there? I will say, look, I'm going to be honest with you. He raised a point, and this may actually... Why did we have no cops in there?
That is a question of concern. He's not wrong with it.
It is, yeah.
And if we didn't have any cops in there, then I don't think while I fully believe that he was involved in this, my initial understanding of the situation, based on what I heard in the conversation, it brought into light some details, including but not limited to I was under the impression those doors were left open. And if they were not left open, and if it turns out those door logs that we should be getting tomorrow morning confirm that he unlocked them, which means that his statement about unlocking and getting chopped would then be accurate, then we cannot make him in any way liable.
Yeah.
Because the only way that liability would exist, well, firstly, there's no way to confer without a like a trustable witness.
One thing I want to point out is that he assumes that EMS closed the door, but we know that EMS did not lock the door because they were told that the doctor wanted them open.
Well, we'll know one way or another, right? Like, with these logs, like the door log, it's going to tell us,
yeah,
it was locked, and then he unlocked it, and that might clear the timeline, I guess. Now, it won't clear, like, now, mind you, when we look at it, it may show that the door was unlocked, but not, like, you know what I mean? He could have unlocked it, waited 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, knock me out now.
Yeah.
And so it will seem like, but there's no way one way or another to confirm that. And I do think he's right about the shared responsibility without having law enforcement inside. And therefore, a impeachment is unreasonable as well. But I'm not saying this case is donezo. I'm just saying I think a lot of pieces were removed because of that interrogation.
Yeah.
From the interrogation.
But
But don't take my summary of
job,
events
right?
to conclude y'all's minds on this.
I mean, I do think we need the logs to kind of like confirm the timeline.
I didn't know we got logs to doors. That's interesting.
I do also agree with the show responsibility. Like whoever had to have been there should have been there on the police side. But also, it kind of like sets me up how he kind of like throws away the responsibility of him being a doctor and being in charge of the patients. I feel like that maybe Brian could be something that you could ask Derek, or maybe we can ask someone else in the doctors. Like, all right, are the doctors in custody of the patient? Yes or no? Then we can also kind of work on that. Because he makes it seem like, yeah, I mean, they're in the hospital, but like, it's the hospital, not my problem. Anyone can be in custody of them, not just me.
I would say that makes him a shitty person, doctor. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but not completely.
If you have a doctor that doesn't give a fuck about any of the patients except the ones that he's willing to look after, there's an issue. Now that is one that can be raised to the board, right? That is one that we could legally push on, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Legs is the worst person in the world. I mean, we live in San Andreas, but I look at it in the same way I look at the expectations we have in law enforcement. If I had someone under my wing who only cared about their 95 and not the other 95s, there's an issue.
Yeah.
While externally a suspect is in the custody of the PD, internally and by convention, I would even argue from a legal perspective that the custody is the department but lands on the person that is directly detaining them. Because otherwise we wouldn't have things like qualified immunity. Like, how would that even work? I guess we rendezvous tomorrow after the
yeah, sometime tomorrow we can talk about the logs and see what happens there.
Rosner, I think separately, I think we need to talk to high command, have a high command thing on this. Is like, if we have criticals that are going into ICU, victims especially, we should not be leaving those victims by themselves. A officer should be stationed there.
I agree. I cannot confirm my position in high command will remain. That conversation
it's remaining right now.
Yeah, I need to wait until the ship is.
Hey, there's always other options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But we'll let the ship steady. And we got a new mayor election in 2 weeks.
You know
so
what?
we
I'll
might
just do
get a
this.
new
I'll
sheriff.
go to Peters and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm taking Rosner if he's not undersheriff anymore." Easy.
He'll probably tell you to have him.
I think honestly, I think you'd fit in. I've been trying to get you since deputy.
Have you? I think the only conversation I ever had with you, which to be fair is probably your way of doing it, I called you up about an unrelated matter when I think McQuillan and Dakota went over.
Trust me when I say I keep 99% of my thoughts to myself.
All right, you just I called and the first thing you said before I'd even said anything was, "We're not taking any more, Rosner. You're gonna have to wait a bit."
I'm always paying attention. It may not seem like it. Y'all stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. I will work on uploading the interview and maybe transcription because it was well over an hour.
I transcribed the first part of it, and then I think we left the room. When I came back, I stopped making notes.
Yeah. That didn't go bad, but I definitely felt him shaking his boots when I mentioned the subpoena. But I don't think we're getting any more than that. Like
I
Brent said.
think you did fantastic.
At least, I mean, works out to clear it out a little bit what happened.
Yeah, our job isn't just to find people guilty. It is often to find what the truth is. As a detective,
Yeah.
that is the more difficult bit because people are always looking for you for big arrests and major convictions, and quite often it's just looking a little more in detail of what has happened and ensuring the right outcome occurs, even if there is no convictions. Take pride in what has occurred today and what you have done, all of you, or you have been thorough with your investigation to ensure that the truth is discovered.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
All right.
Proud of you. Good shit.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna keep talking about tomorrow then. Whenever we get those logs, we can kind of like reach a conclusion. And
Yeah. It's 3 a.m. So I might go to bed.
Oh. Well, I hope you're still my undersheriff by tomorrow, because I honestly don't know
I hope so too. You're not my
other
undersheriff, but I hope you're the undersheriff.
other than you and Jenna.
You should have been
I
the
don't know.
sheriff, to be honest. Oh.
Yeah, I'm quite
Peters
confused
is
by
so
the
out of left
decision.
field. Yeah. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
let's keep it professional. He is the sheriff. That is what it is.
That is professional. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying it was out of left field. That's all.
I know.
All right. See you around, undersheriff.
God bless. Stay safe now. Don't get shot.
God bless.
God bless.
God bless and tonight.